Lisa, I'd like to ask you about the now. I mean, I understand that, you know, be in the now. But it also seems that we have a past that we're conditioned, et cetera, triumphant all the way up. We've got conditioned negatively and whatever. Does that negativity that's still in our bodies have to be released before we can be liberated?
The
I mean,
past
there's
traumas.
some teachers talk about, you know, the body still holds X, Y, Z, and
Yeah.
whether you're liberated or
So
not.
you mean like traumas that are contained in the body?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Past pains? Nope.
in other words, you can slip right into a liberation with X, Y, Z, neuroses or whatever. That's a big one.
But it's never the body that gets liberated. It's never the character that gets liberated. It's the movement from being bound to that character, to everything. And then the character still carries on and it's fucked up or non-fucked up, however you phrase it. Way.
But doesn't it still torment you in a way?
There's a little bit of creaking here, Perch. Do you think that this is strong enough?
Yeah, it's okay.
That would be so funny if I broke the table.
You can pass with some body.
So where did we get to? Oh yeah. So the person, the movement of the person looks at the pains and thinks that's what the problem is because they hurt,
Yeah.
and it creates difficult relations. So you're difficult. There's conflict because one body-mind mechanism has certain conditioning, and then another one. So say your wife, your dynamic might be to be angry quickly, and then the wife sulks about it. So you can see these things. So you think they're the problem. You can't really see them, but you think you can see them, something that's moving. So you think that's what the problem is. Actually, the problem is the energy that sucks in and says that's who you are. But it will be nicer for the body if it has less screwed up patterning.
Yes.
But it's not even nicer for the body. There's nobody. But it's nicer in Storyland if the body is more not having such difficult conditioning. But if that's what's happening, that's what's happening. But liberation is the movement from that being you to boundlessness. And then the body still has its dynamics.
Then it sounds like it's possible to carry these difficulties.
Well, the question is who's been carrying them? Whose do they belong to? Like we wouldn't ever think of correcting the growth of a tree. If a tree had we'd think of breeding a new tree. Like if it had defaults in its growth, we'd think about breeding a new tree. But we see that, we'd cut it down actually. Terrible analogy. Screw that one. Okay, screw the tree.
The sun.
The sun?
Yeah, we can't correct the sun.
Oh, yeah, we got to this once before. I've done this with people before. I've realised all of the analogies don't work except when I get to the sun. About correcting the sun. But the question is who are you? Is the body the experiencer? We always think that the body's the experiencer. I'm the experiencer. And that it's about, that liberation is about that body waking up, that person waking up. But actually, all of this is happening in stillness. All of this is happening in boundless. And it's a movement of energy. Not really a movement of energy, because there can't be that. But it seems to be a movement from feeling you are that person to boundlessness, and then that person reason arising and disappearing in this. But the body was never the source. The body was an experience. But it got so sucked into the body, it felt like the body was the experiencer. Somebody was the experiencer. And the body, and you as somebody had traumas from a childhood. And that was the problem. This body still has trauma. It seems there seemed to be a big change when a big lessening of that trauma, but it still has trauma. It still gets the heart going fast when the aeroplane takes off. There must be more trauma than that. Thank you. I do the aeroplane so often.
Big trucks.
Big trucks. Ah, yes. I got flattened by a truck on the motorway. So now I'm very aggressive to big trucks. So if a big truck puts the indicator on when I'm next to it, I'm like, toot toot, wanker! Toot toot! And so I remember somebody being like, well, you got really lost in the moment then. And I was like, that was lunatic. I was like,
Lost in the wanker moment.
yeah. But there's many others, but I'm just forgetting them now. You know, in relationships, I'm not the perfect girlfriend, you know. I still have my ways of being and doing the normal thing that all humans do. Still trying to think of one there, but this will be like, I've got one!
Here's Snoop.
Oh yeah, Snoop. I've read Paul's, my boyfriend, emails before. All those things. I've distrusted him. I've questioned him. I don't think that's true. All those normal things that carry on. But it's an energetic shift. It's not the character. It's not about the character. The character, those things tend to get more even, but not all the time. And they tend to undo themselves. But then you'll get new ones. You'll be in a car accident, or your partner will run off with a neighbour, and then there will be an association with that in the future. That's the way it goes in the body land. Your freedom is the movement of energy and who's experiencing the body. You aren't the body. You are the body as in you're everything, but you're not limited to the body. Who knows what the character's doing?
Well, I mean, there's an experience of distress or whatever, and that's felt.
Yeah, but then then the energy goes in, that's who I am. I'm distressed. I'm the Snoop. I'm the abuser or the abused. But that's happening, and I'm not meaning to deny it, like to deny dynamics to people, but it's never you that's experiencing it. You, the experiencer, is absolute stillness, boundlessness. And everything is experiencing itself, and the character is part of the experience. I don't even know what I mean when I say character, that blows my mind, but we'll just go with it in limited language.
So is this dissolving of the character, is that just a random occurrence?
Well, isn't everything a random occurrence?
Yeah.
So why would that one be different?
True.
It's just that the mind wants to look for it, to see if it can manipulate a path of things. It never was the actor, the creator. The person was never the creator. The person was a creation. You never did your life. Ever. You felt like you did your life. You're never going to do your life. Who experiences the character? And it was so frustrating for that one that feels like it's in the movement. I did the character. I'm choosing. Who experiences that? And then the character still has its crazy dynamics. You'll never see an enlightened person. You'll never be able to tell. Yes?
From my limited understanding of what's going on right now, We are